And ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Downey. Why, Dad will cry as much as I do because I'm a big baby. Oh, he's crying.
Thank you, Laura, Amy, Chip. Thanks for making all this happen, as well as everyone on the committee. Laura, that New Jersey-born connection after me, Cindy Bell. New Jersey was the place to come from for the choir for short. Well, Cindy raised her hand. As I tell my son, it's important to build relationships and friendships as he starts his college journey this year. 31 years ago, I had the privilege to meet Fred and Pat. 31 years is a long time, but it's unbelievable. 31 years later, today, we still had that friendship. Amazing, considering 31 years ago I had some huge hair and big glasses. Fred took a kid that sang in the church choir, not the high school choir. I was a school trumpeter, a French horn player. I was in the marching band. Somehow he made me into a 4-year choir member, a chamber choir member, and of course a tour choir member. To say the least, I did not have the training the others did, but I embraced the challenge, embraced the opportunity to sing in such an elite group. The memorization was intense, practiced 3 or 4 times a week. The choir was quality, is quality at its best. Professionalism, hardworking, and we always began every practice with, as we did yesterday, the humming of the D, which I will not do for you because I could never really do it right. It wasn't a solo event, of course. The combo with Fred and Pat, it was unbreakable. It was a total team effort. Being young and away from home, the Lycoming College Choir was the close-knit family I needed. The head of the family was Fred and Pat. Some memories I'll walk down as well as Laura's did. I had a job working in the music department. Back then we made cassettes, and then we made cassettes. There was a daisy chain of cassette players that we made copies, and then we got it out to all our choir members. Truth be known, I still have a cassette in my car from the 82 or from the 85 season that I still play. Another memory I have is taking a city bus. I grew up in a little small town in Ocean Grove, and we walked everywhere. So here I was on a city bus one day, driving out to Williamsport, the other side of town, to see Pat. She had promised that she would cut my hair and kind of bring that down to a smaller hairdo. Another great memory is the boys, which you heard from Mark and Jeff. I think there's a picture somewhere around here coming up soon of Mark and Young and myself, both class of '85, we were roommates for 3 years and continue to be good friends. Tour choir, many tours, many weekend tours. A great memory that I have is playing Setback, which was a card game we played. 4 people on a bus. Back then we had tables. We played teams. And I can tell you, whoever was Pat's partner was a privilege, and we always won. Back then there was no movies on the tour buses. I think there's movies on buses today. There's no iPods, there's no iTouches, there's no iPhones. There might have been a Sony Walkman that now and then. I think we had 8 tracks, but no one really carried them in their pocket. So what we did, we sat with different people, we talked. And best of all, Fred and Pat, though they had that front row seat, throughout tour they would walk back and find an empty seat, find someone they didn't know that well, or someone they knew well, and just sit and talk. Where you came from, your parents, school. That was a great opportunity. And of course, at the end of concerts, we had celebrations. We had small parties of celebrating the accomplishments of the tour and the great performances we had. A special time was coming to home churches, as you heard from Laura. That happened in my senior year, thanks to the tour manager, my roommate, Mark. So we made that happen. Always a fun time to be in your home church with family and friends. The other great memory for that was, Laura alluded to it a little bit, but I had the opportunity to have Fred and Pat stay at our home. 2-bedroom ranch, my brother, 17, Mark and I, my parents, and Fred and Pat. 2 bedrooms. I don't know if you have a picture of that.
Don't have that.
Don't have that picture, but dining room's the size of this. And we're all in the dining room having breakfast. A great opportunity. And we, of course, I think we have lunch for everyone, where everyone got to mingle. Another great time of sharing and social between congregation, members, family, and friends. Even today, my wife Julie, class of '83, we've had the opportunity twice at our home church now in Crescent Avenue in Plainfield, New Jersey, to host a choir. I think the last visit we had, alumni, probably somewhere around 10 or 12, they showed up, and we got on the risers and took that picture. I don't have it with us, but I think it's probably part of the whole alumni Facebook page. But again, that was great. And again, that opportunity we had, Julie and I and Brian, my son, had the opportunity to host Fred and Pat at our house. And of course, that was just priceless. What makes a great college experience? Those friends, those relationships one builds over those 4 years. These are the real friendships you savor. They are the keepers. They are the lasting ones, the genuine ones. These are the friends that you can sit down with after you haven't seen them for about a year or so and pick up that conversation you were having a year or so ago. One time we were in town, I called Pat and I said, you know, we only have a few minutes, or I think they were going out of town. We met at Starbucks. Julie, Brian, myself, Fred and Pat. We got a cup of coffee. Pat brought a tin of, it was Christmas time, a tin of Christmas cookies. And we sat there and shared for about 30 minutes, you know, what they're doing, what we were doing. So Fred and Pat, thanks so much. It means so much to the Downings. All your friends and family, the school, and the community. Thank you so much.